On his first tour with Black Sabbath, Ronnie James Dio introduced the world to the devil horns. He said it was an old Italian gesture his grandmother used to ward off evil, but it quickly became the universal symbol for heavy metal. The Doors take Germany in 1968. While they look calm here, this European tour was pure chaos. At a show in Amsterdam, a strung-out Jim Morrison collapsed on stage, forcing the band to perform the entire concert without their frontman. Alice Cooper meets Salvador Dalí in 1973. The legendary Surrealist was so fascinated by Cooper's shock rock that he declared him a kindred spirit. The two collaborated on a bizarre hologram of Alice's brain, a true meeting of visionary masters. The artist and his protege. Andy Warhol was the visionary behind the Velvet Underground, but his most famous decision was forcing the German singer Nico on the band. Lou Reed hated the idea, but the result was an art rock masterpiece. Three legends of British rock. This was taken during the filming of the Mark Bolan movie Born to Boogie, which was directed by Ringo Starr himself. Ringo made the film to help his friend Bolan's flagging career, and this jam with Elton was a highlight. Miami, 1964. During their first American visit, the Beatles were prisoners of their own fame. This trip to a private beach was a rare escape, but even surrounded by police, the absolute chaos of Beatlemania was never far away. The Master and the Disciple. This is from the sessions for John Lee Hooker's 1989 comeback album, The Healer. The collaboration with Carlos Santana helped earn the 73-year-old blues legend his first ever Grammy and a massive career resurgence. An incredible summit of piano gods. This was from a 1986 TV special honoring the great Fats Domino. Legends like Ray Charles, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Ronnie Wood gathered to pay tribute to the man whose music had inspired them all. This short-lived Thin Lizzy lineup from 74 features the fiery Gary Moore on guitar. His powerful style convinced Phil Lynott that the band needed a fuller sound, leading directly to the signature twin-lead guitar attack they became famous for. Bob Seger, 1977. After a decade of grinding it out, Live Bullet and Night Moves had finally made him a superstar. This isn't just a rock star on stage, it's a picture of pure, hard-earned victory for one of Detroit's finest. The Young and Wild Chili Peppers. For their second album, Freaky Styley, they flew to Detroit to work with their absolute hero, the legendary George Clinton of Parliament Funkadelic. He was the only man on earth who could produce their chaotic sound. The Four Horsemen on the Road. This was Metallica as a hungry road warrior band, touring in a cramped bus. Just 1 year later, this very lifestyle would end in tragedy with the death of legendary bassist Cliff Burton in a bus crash. Cheap Trick in '77, a band struggling at home, but massive in Japan. The next year, their legendary Live at Budokan album, intended only for Japan, became such a huge import hit that it forced an American release and made them superstars. Stevie Wonder in London, 1974, at the apex of his creative genius. He had just released 4 masterpiece albums in a row. This tour was a triumphant return after a near-fatal car accident, just a year earlier, had nearly silenced him forever. two titans of British music, backstage at Live Aid in 1985. While friends, they were also lifelong rivals. Bowie started his first band after seeing McCartney play, and Paul later admitted he was always trying to one-up Bowie's latest album. Joan Jett in London, just after the Runaways split. It was here she first recorded I Love Rock and Roll with members of the Sex Pistols. The song was rejected by 23 different labels before she released it herself and made it a classic. Keith Richards and Ronnie Wood promoting their side project, the new Barbarians, in '79. The band was formed so Keith could fulfill a court order after a major drug bust. It was a chaotic, one-tour supergroup and a final, glorious binge for '70s rock. The twin titans of Zeppelin in a quiet moment. This wasn't just a casual read for Jimmy Page. His deep obsession with astrology and the occult was the source of the band's powerful mystique, from the famous Zoso symbols to his legendary Boleskine house. The final days of a supergroup. This portrait of Cream was taken during their farewell tour. The shows on this American tour would be recorded for their final album, which had the perfect, simple, and bittersweet title, Goodbye. This is the moment the Doors became legends of rebellion. Producers demanded they change the lyric, couldn't get much higher. The band agreed, then sang it anyway on live television, leading to a lifetime ban from the show. The ultimate '70s supergroup, Bad Company. In 1974, they became the very first band signed to Led Zeppelin's own label, Swan Song Records. Their debut album was an immediate smash, hitting #1 and making the label a powerhouse overnight. Three icons at a party David Bowie threw to retire Ziggy Stardust. Bowie had just produced Lou Reed's comeback album, Transformer, single-handedly resurrecting his career and giving him his biggest ever hit, Walk on the Wild Side. A moment of levity between Peter Gabriel and Phil Collins in 1974. This was during the grueling tour for The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, which would be Gabriel's last. He had already secretly made the decision to leave the band that made him famous. The original supergroup, Cream, in their final year. Their legendary extended jams weren't born from harmony, but from pure conflict. The three members were famously at war, competing and trying to outplay each other in epic, virtuosic duels every night. Two poets in their natural habitat, a party at Allen Ginsberg's house in 1975. For Patti Smith, this was a dream come true, connecting her hero Bob Dylan to the Beat generation that had inspired them both so deeply.